Hello there, Scotty. You're not. Look, I gave this movie a chance, okay? The original Peach Dragon is one of my favorite Disney movies ever. I love this movie. Alright? When they announced back in 2015 or whatever it was that they were going to have a new Peach Dragon remake was going to come out, and I went, why? Why are we doing this? I understand, I don't understand, but I get it. They want to do live action remakes of animated films, fine. But Peach Dragon is not an animated film. It was live action mixed with animation, but it's mostly live action. I gave it the benefit of the doubt, but I never had any intention to watch it really. And then, many moons ago, I was at my son, and we were watching the 2016 Jungle Book movie, and this came on after it. I went, okay, I'll give it a shot. First scene, I went, yeah, no, and turned it. Because the first scene was Pete in the car with his parents, and they hit a deer, and his parents die, and he's left in the woods. And I went, nope, and turned the channel. My son, very confused at the time, was like, why you turn it? And I'm like, I don't need to know about his parents. In the original, we don't know anything about his parents. He's on the run from the Gogans. I never needed to know what happened to his parents, where they were. It doesn't matter. That was never the point. Who his parents were, where they were, where Pete came from before getting to the Gogans was never important. And right away, they proved they have no fucking idea how to tell this story in 2016. When you could tell a better story in 1977 than you could in 2016, honestly, it amazes me that Disney at this point is still making any money off of these. And watching this made me realize that Disney has lost the whimsicality. All their movies back in the 60s and the 70s, somewhat 80s and 90s, even in the 2000s, some movies had the whimsicality. Mostly by then it was the animated films, but it had whimsicality. And watching this, knowing the original by heart, made me, it's way too modernized. For one, the music in it, it's not a musical. They don't use any of the songs. Candle on the Water, they did a cover of Candle on the Water. Not in the movie, it's on the soundtrack though, so what's the point? But it's just a bunch of other songs. And these don't sound like songs you would hear in a Disney film. It's all folksy type, like the Lumineers or some shit, something like that. It kind of that song, and I do it for you, for you. It would fit in with the rest of the music in this song. It has that folksy kind in this song. In this movie, it has that folksy kind of tune. And from the beginning of this film, I see that, and I think, nope, don't need to watch it. What do you know? I find this at Walmart for $10. Figured, what the hell? I'm eventually gonna do a Remake-A-Thon anyway. Might as well finally get down to it. So I sit and I watch it. And while I did not hate it, I still do not see the point of it. And I had quite a few issues with it. So, Pete is quite younger than he was in the original. I want to say that this Pete was like 11, 12 years old. Right? At least 12, at least. This one, he's 5 when he's left in the woods, and it's 6 years, so he's 11. Right? And he thinks he's 5, despite aging. I guess you're in the woods, you don't have time, whatever. But mine's Elliot, and that's the first issue I have. In the original, it's very well known that Elliot is like a guardian angel for kids. He goes from kid to kid, helping them out as they need it. But in this movie, they tell you right from the get-go, he's just a dragon who lives in the woods. The Lampy replacement, in that of Robert Redford's character, said he saw a dragon. So that made me think, a dragon. I swear I saw a dragon. He saw the dragon, and they talk about his encounter with the dragon. And so it's very much a dragon. It's a dragon that lives in the woods. That's it. Pete's not on the run from the Gogans or any other villain, really. He's not on the run from the Gogans. His parents were in a car accident. He survived somehow. They ate a deer. His parents died. He survived, and he just ended up living in the woods for 6 years. Our Nora replacement is Bryce Dallas Howard's Grace. And unlike in the original, she's not also missing something. Because in the original, Elliot was there to not only help Pete, he was there to help Pete find a family. And to do that, he had to put a family back together. At that point, it was Nora and Lampy, and that was it. And then Pete came along, and then he helped find Paul, who was Nora's husband, who was lost at sea because he had amnesia and all that stuff. Here, not only does she have her Paul character in Jack, played by Wes Bentley, who doesn't do jack shit, but almost die. Jack also has a daughter. And so they already have a family. And so, in this version, Pete is impeding on this family. And spoiler alert, it ends pretty much the same way. He ends up getting with this family. But seeing as we know what happened to his parents, to me that doesn't work. Like, we found this kid, he has no family, let's adopt him. But there's a point in this film, after the big climax goes down, that he gets on Pete and he flies away. And a part of me was saying, yeah, that works here. This should be the ending. That works, and have Robert Redford talking about, we sometimes see Elliot flying. Every once in a while, Pete will come in, visit us. But he's happy with that dragon. I was thinking that would work in this version, right? Because Elliot's not that protector like he was in the original. He's not the guardian angel. He's just a dragon that helped raise him. He's technically a second father to him. But no, we have to do the typical Disney thing, and he has to end up with his family at the end. Let's talk about the villains. Villain. In the original, we had two different sets of villains. The Gogans, the Hillbilly Hick family who bought the Pete. Got a bill of sale and everything. I got a bill of sale right here. Says he belongs to us. Yeah. No Gogans. Nope. They're not being chased. There's no immediate danger. He's just found in the woods. He's not hiding. Well, he's sort of hiding. He's not running from anything. He's just living in the woods in a treehouse that nobody saw for 6 years. And Elliot was already there. It wasn't with him like in the original. In the original, Elliot was already protecting Pete from the Gogans because he needed it. Here, he just finds him in the woods. The other villains in the original, Professor Terminus and Hoagie, also not present. And I thought they were pretty good villains. They had a plot. So both sets of villains in the original had their own, what's the word I'm thinking of? Plan. Had their own plots. Had their own, what they needed, what they wanted. They knew what they wanted, right? With the Gogans, they wanted Pete so they can put him back to work and do all the chores. Professor Terminus and Hoagie, they wanted Elliot so they could harvest his parts and make potions and lotions and make money off of them. Here, we have Carl Urban with a shotgun who wants to take down the dragon because it's a dragon in the woods. Maybe he wants to make money. I don't know. But he's not really a villain because by the end of the film, he sort of realizes what he's done and what he's caused, and just sort of, he's forgiven, I guess. Although I will say, it was a good idea not to have him with the rest of the family in the end when they see Elliot and all the other dragons. Yeah, there's more than him. Sure, there could be more in the original, but was it needed? Right? One thing I liked is that I was so afraid they were going to have Elliot talk. And I saw that John Cassier, voice of the Crypt Keeper, was doing the vocal performance, it said. Like, no, please don't have him talk. And he doesn't. He just does it's like that. It's basically like a Frank Welker performance for an animal. You know. But it works. Like I said, the music is all folksy. It's none of the other songs. And they could have incorporated some things, right? There's a song early on in the film talk about something about having it's a good day or something. I'm like, oh, come on. Come on. That's your alternative to Brazzle Dazzle Day, right? When Pete says goodbye to Elliot, you got Elliot go, and then, and then Pete say, "I love you too." I love you too, something like that. I'm going, I love you too, just before he flies off. No, you could have had, you got a reference saying he saw a dragon. You have him say, I swear I saw a dragon, right? And in that moment when he's vindicated, it does nothing. He's like, magic. And it's just like, really? You've been vindicated. And nothing. There's no emotion on his face. It's just Robert Redford going, magic. And it just immediately followed, like, imagine this. Because this is immediately followed by Carl Urban and his men who trank guns. Imagine he sees this, right? He's vindicated. He drops to his knees and he's just so happy, and then darts hit the dragon. He falls. Huh? It'd be effective, right? Another thing crossed my mind, right? So you start the film with Robert Redford narrating about a dragon he saw in the woods, right? A dragon he knew. So I thought, what if they did what a lot of movies started doing around this time? 2 years later, we have Halloween 2018, a sequel to the original. So what if this was Pete's Dragon, but it was a secret sequel to the original? They call it Pete's Dragon. They show a trailer, a little boy hiding in the woods. We find out the boy's name is not Pete. What's your name? I don't remember. I was too young. The boy, they give him a name, and it is Paul. They give him a name. They give him some kind of name. And it's revealed that the old man telling the story of Robert Redford's character is the original Pete. Right? And Bryce Dallas Howard is Pete's daughter. Right? And it's a sequel to the original. And Elliot is helping this kid who's lost. And he is bringing him to Pete to finish the circle. He gave Pete a family. Now he's bringing this kid to kind of finish that, knowing that Pete has grown up. Now, I think Robert Redford might be too old. Might have been too old at the time to play an adult Pete from 1977, who was maybe like 12 years old. Right? So this came out in 2016, 1977. That's 39 years. Right? Not quite 40, but 39 years. So if he was 12, that would make him 60. Add 10. 49 plus 2, 51. Okay, making 51. Robert Redford was in his 70s, close to 80 here. A little too old. You know, I'm just saying, what if they went that route? I think I would appreciate it more if they went that route. Like like it's been all those years, and now Pete's all grown up. He has a daughter, right? And Lampy has passed away. Nora and Paul have retired, moved on. They're not dead yet, you know. And yeah, but that's another thing. This place is very rural country town. There's no lighthouse. I didn't think of the name. There's no lighthouse. It's just rural town. There's a bridge thing. And there's a bridge. Yeah. Which Elliot starts on fire before realizing from Pete that he shouldn't be doing that, and then he saves Jack and Grace. I don't understand why this happens. He starts flaming the bridge and the truck, and the truck's gonna fall, and then Pete yells, "I need them! I need them!" And so he's like, "Oh, I fucked up," and he flies down and saves them. Did I miss something? Why was he flaming it then? I don't understand it. Why? I don't get it. Because it was Carl Urban who was the bad guy chasing after him. Why would he flame? It's like it's an unnecessary climactic moment for the sake of having one. It just doesn't make any sense. All in all, this movie's fine. Nowhere near as good as the original, and so I'm gonna give it a middle of the road, a very low middle of the road. But I can't bring myself to say that it's not worth your time. So give it a shot if you want. I would say this is one of the better remakes. Is it better than the Aladdin remake? Because that's the one I hold as a standard, even though I don't like the added Jasmine is a strong female lead subplot, because it goes nowhere. She's singing about how I will not let be silenced, and then she's silenced in the very next scene. The Lion remake was okay too. And what other ones have I seen? Well, the original Jungle Book remake, I think, if we're going to all remakes from every generation, that one's still number one for me. It's still the best. The original Jungle Book remake from 1994, that's still the best. It is fantastic. Yeah, but this is just a low middle of the road. So, what are your thoughts on Pete's Dragon? No comments below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Scotty, and next, we're gonna do another remake of an old film, which I don't know much about. It's starring Jim Carrey and Tia Leone, and I've only seen this once before, so we shall see. But anyway, I'll see you in the next one.